Tonight, we gather to celebrate one of the most miraculous and yet everyday occurrences, the birth of a child. Every day around the world, children are born. Some are sought, asked for, wanted, some are not. Some survive, some don't. Some go on to be known by the whole world, some live in more quiet ways. But each and every birth, no matter its circumstances, is a miraculous, wondrous event. Tonight, in story and song with candles lit, we celebrate the birth of a child born over 2,000 years ago. This human child grew into a man that taught, preached, prayed, and loved the world. A man who spread a message of hope and peace, and who paid for his teachings with his life, but whose message remains to this day. And before he was a man, he was a baby, an infant in his mother's arms in a manger at an inn. Before he was a man celebrated for his message, he was a newborn whose birth was cause for celebration, and that's the story we tell tonight. Jesus was born into a world not unlike our own, a world of uncertainty, of human beauty, and also human meanness, a world in which greed and cruelty too often overtook the better angels of humanity. He came into a world of challenge. Our world is ever one of challenge. Into every life, sorrow and loss and pain and fear come, and yet so too does joy. This world remains also a world of joy, and that is what we affirm to each other tonight. These past years have been difficult, and still we have found and we continue to find ways to celebrate. Jesus came into the world with angels singing and shepherds gazing and bright stars and visitors from far off lands. He came into this world as we all do, with promise, an open road ahead, the divine alive within, in need of love and care, as we all are all the days of our lives. And that is what we remember tonight. Friends, we gather close to tell the story of those who decided to shelter and raise this child, awaiting his arrival with trepidation and joy. And in so doing, we honor our own waiting and seeking for a changed world. We gather close to tell the story of his coming and the celebration that resounds down the ages. In so doing, we remember and affirm the holy in every child, in every one of us born into this strange and wondrous mortal life. We gather close to sing together joyous music in voices full-throated and clear. In so doing, we recognize the glory of our shared humanity and the love that is always possible. We gather close to once more light our candles, follow the star, and share together here in our congregational home the deep truths of Christmas. It is a strange scene, though in a book filled with strange occurrences, perhaps it doesn't seem so out of place. An engaged young woman is visited by an angel who tells her she will bear the Son of God. We can't exactly say that the angel asks her permission, but he does at least extend the courtesy of letting the young woman know, and in a sense, gives her a chance to refuse. Upon some amount of consideration, she says, okay, I'll do it. Let it occur as you have said. Why? I feel like that's the question. Why would Mary agree to do it? If we believe what we learn about her in the story, in saying yes, she risks shame, perhaps even exile, as an unmarried woman. She risks her reputation and her relationships, not to mention her physical body itself. A no would have been easy and completely understandable, possibly the safest and most sensible choice. But something that the text doesn't tell us guides Mary to say yes. Maybe it's something in Gabriel's eyes as he offers her meager reassurances that her son will go on to lead men, that God has found favor with her. Cold comfort, perhaps, for all she's being asked to do. But there are no guarantees when we bring a child into this world, or even when we attempt to. The acceptance of that risk is an act of faith. faith in the potential that lies within us, faith in a process of creation that we understand but we can't control, faith in the world around us to be kind to this new life, faith in the promise that each life brings. Mary took a risk. She had a certain kind of faith. She decided that it was worth anything to her, worth the possible pain and anguish, because she knew that there was also the possibility for something good in the offer that Gabriel made. Not all things are possible. We know that. Naive faith might believe all things, but a mature faith, like Mary's, takes a moment, sees a question where others might see an unshakable demand. A mature faith weighs the risks, allowing in doubts and fears, considering what beauty and joy might outweigh them, and then makes a decision that is right for them in that moment. We can't really know why Mary said yes. We take it on faith that she accepted because something felt right to her, that her own faith was moved by love, the love that Gabriel claims God has for her, the love that she might bear for a child, the love for the world being shown in such an incarnation. Love animates faith as we begin our tale. Another angel, this time in a dream, another choice. Joseph was a good man, the story tells us, a godly one. He didn't want to shame Mary, but to take on the responsibility of a child that wasn't his, to invite into his life the disruption, the possibility of ridicule. It's not what he signed up for. A quiet divorce would keep Mary safe and give him a second chance at the life he thought he wanted. So he decides to sleep on it, agitated as he is over the whole thing. And then the dream comes. Don't be afraid. Take heart. Rest easy. Make this choice in peace. Take Mary as your wife and raise this son as your own. And Joseph wakes and he agrees to do it, and he commits himself to Mary and this child, and he takes responsibility for these people in his life. And he does it wholeheartedly without reservation. Coming to peace when faced with a difficult decision is not always that easy. There is not often an angel in a dream giving us clear directions on what to do. It's a process, facing the reality before us, coming to terms with it, making choices about how to move forward. The angel tells Joseph that this baby is from the Holy Spirit. Coming to peace inside ourselves and choosing the most peace-filled, peace-oriented ways to be in the world become possible when we are able to embrace the idea that every being, ourselves and every other, is a holy being, come from the Spirit, filled with the Spirit, deserving of love and care. The implied question of this part of the story is, what would have happened if Joseph had cast Mary aside? What would have happened to her and the baby she had decided to carry? What happens if we forget that every life we choose to bring into this world is sacred? The messages of love and peace and gentleness that Jesus preached might never have reached the world. The angel in this dream is offering Joseph a theology. This baby that Mary has chosen is sacred. Every baby is sacred. If you embrace that, your blood relationship doesn't matter. Only love matters, and we have a responsibility to each other. Let in love and you will let in peace. Peace in your own life, but also peace brought unto the world. Love invites in peace as we continue the story. Caesar demanded that everyone be counted, and so they went, despite the challenge of such a journey while heavily pregnant and seemingly without any just-in-case preparations. They went because they had to, and they hoped for the best. We're told that the shepherds were afraid, that the celestial spectacle of light they're witnessing in the sky is unlike any they've ever seen, and they quake, unsure of what it all means. And surely Mary and Joseph must have been afraid. Was there ever a family that wasn't, as they welcomed an infant? They made the choice to have this child, but now the moment has come and questions must surely have abounded. Were they ready? Who would this child be and who would they become? Will Mary and the baby survive? What will it feel like to love this new being? There are no givens, even at this point in the story, and the uncertainty and fear are shared by all who share in the moment. And then an angel comes, first alone and later joined by ranks of the heavenly host, saying, "This is not a moment for fear, but for hope. A baby is born. What greater possibility and promise is there than this? What greater hope for the world? A new life has arrived. No matter that the child is born among animals, born away from home, born to unwed parents, the arrival of a child is cause for celebration. The arrival of a child is a miraculous and defiant act of hope that declares life is worth living, the world is worth saving, beauty is possible, and love is worth risking pain. Love brings about hope as the story culminates. The story of Christmas doesn't happen only once. Year after year, Mary is invited to birth the holy with faith. Joseph is asked to embrace the unexpected with peace in his heart. The shepherds and the world are asked to know each birth as a declaration of hope. Each year, the story is told and retold, and we are called to remember joy. The joy and magic of this season is available to us in so many ways. The deep dark that holds us and the sparkling lights that shine, the cold that somehow feels warm as we gather together in homes and communities, the generosity that flows as we offer care and compassion to others, the smiles and laughter that come more readily this time of year, the music that tugs at our memories and helps us make new ones, the family traditions that bring us back in time, connect us to our past, to our shared past. The focus on life, its beauty and challenge and promise. There is joy and magic in this season, and each and every one of us is invited to participate each year over and over, unceasingly, in the joyful journey that takes us beyond presents and parties and deeper into the heart of what it means to be human in this world we share. It's the kind of joy that springs from a deep knowing that faith and peace and hope are real, that love is everywhere, and that is the most important magic in our lives. Love creates joy as the story is told over and over again.